Hip hip hooray! Summer gnomes are here. We have the fourth and final gnome to complete the Close to My Heart Gnome Series Winter, Spring, Summer, and Fall Gnomes. It is Close to My Heart made, Stampin' Up! Purchased and sold, and we're going to create tonight using the Summer Gnome Scrapbooking Workshop kit, which includes place card holders, full color instructions to complete a 6-page workshop, paper pack and sticker sheet, all of the cute summer designs shown here in the paper pack with one theme specific summer gnome paper. So bright, so colorful, so fun. It comes with some coordinating cardstock, and again, you can complete the workshop as designed. It creates 6 pages. The workshop kit also includes, of course, the adorable summer gnome. It's a standalone thin cut or die that creates the base, the beard, the hat, the cool drink, the glasses, the hand, the nose. It also includes a scrapbooking summer gnome thin cut and stamp that will be included in that kit. Now here is the workshop as designed by the company. It's 6 pages. It's ready to go. You can purchase the kit, the Scrapbooking Workshop kit, and create these cute 6 pages. Or I am creating a Summer Gnome YouTube series that creates 10 alternate pages if you so choose. And we're starting with layout number 1 tonight, and it is 5 2-page layouts that we're going to be creating. So first, of course, we're going to create a few bits to add to the Junk Gypsy tray. So using that scrapbooking Stampin' Thin Cut, the Summer Gnome Scrapbooking Stampin' Thin Cut, I've created some ice cream cones, some suns, some sprinklers, some bicycles, and I'm going to put those in the Junk Gypsy tray, and those are going to work great in this series. Of course, I'm going to want to create some of these adorable gnomes. I don't know how many I'm going to need for the 10 pages that we're going to do in this series, so I've created a variety with the coordinating colors. So we have Rosy, we have Glacier, we have Journey, we have Lagoon, we have a little bit of Sundance and a little bit of Lemonade, and all kinds of cute colors in there, peach. So I've made a combination. So my inspiration tonight is Ramsey Kate. Ramsey Kate marches to the beat of her own drum, and she is one of our granddaughters, and here she is conquering the world out at the lake, and she's cracking me up with those goggles, and I think those are going to be perfect photos. Here is the rest of the grandchildren in tow. We have Avery Jean, Hattie Elaine, and a couple of their friends out at the lake just swimming and having a ball. So I see here gutting a frame, the crisscross journey frame, by cutting from 1 inch to 11 inches all the way around. Now, I wanted to make a blotch so that I have a background that's a little bit unique besides just a plain square. So I've cut my blotch off of the Cricut by just typing splotch or blotch. All kinds of blotches and splotches come up when you do that, but how easy it would be to just cut a jagged edge around. So it's about 11.5 by 11.5, I believe, and it's a little bit of an odd shape, and so I've just cut 2 of those. Now, I do feel like we need a pop in the background, so I'm going to add Journey cardstock to the back and then fussy cut around that blotch. Now, I could just use the offset tool on my Cricut, and I could just make an offset that would be perfect, but I'm actually going to fussy cut around it because I often make all of the Cricut cuts for my paper crafters, and I don't have 120 or 140 sheets of Journey left to be able to create that offset and to be able to cut that for all of my customers so they can use their paper and they can fussy cut around the one blotch or splotch that I created for them. Now we're just going to make a playful and fun background. We're going to use all of these colorful patterns, and we're just going to make 1/2 3/4 and 1-inch strips out of some of the pattern paper. So I'm going to sort them out for you so you can wrap your head around the sizes. Over on the right, I have all of the 1-inch strips. Over on the left, I'm putting all of the 3/4 inch strips. And so as you can see, for the 1-inch strips, we have the word paper, the busy gnome paper, the busy summer paper, the Rosy cardstock, and the Sundance cardstock. For the 3/4 inch strips, we have the stripe, the sailor hat, the journey crisscross, the lagoon, and then we have 2 1/2-inch strips that are the zip strips. And so I didn't measure those out. I just cut those in 12-inch strips, all except for the ones that were only left in 10-inch strips because of the crisscross gutted frame. I doubled those because it's a 2-page layout, so there's 2 each of those, and we're just going to layer colorful, playful strips in the background. This is not a tough one tonight. This is just going to be so simple, and the color from the background strips is just going to be grounded by the crisscross frame in the back and by the splotch part, particularly by the journey splotch part in the back. And that's going to ground all of those color strips. We're going to ground them a little bit more by adding white frames to the top or white photo mats to the top. So I have all of those strips in place, and we're just going to continue to be playful. The blotch is playful, the colors are playful, the gnomes are playful. So we're going to do tearing and just continue with that playful theme. So I'm just going to actually reduplicate the pattern. Sometimes I love to do random patterns. Sometimes I like to make it look like a random pattern that isn't so random by repeating the patterns from the left to the right. So I'm repeating all the patterns from the left page to the right page, and then we're just going to randomly tear the tops and the bottoms so that they rest inside the blotch base. And so blotches are easy to make, again, like I said, by just, randomly cutting around the outside of your cardstock. You could randomly tear around the outside of your cardstock. You can create one of those on the Cricut. You can also create a blotchy effect through inking. If you wanted to take a white background and just spread your ink pad back and forth and make a nice blotchy background, you could do that as well. You can actually even do that on a color with white daisy ink. And so now I'm just actually tearing, getting them all random lengths. I'm not measuring, don't stress, just make them all random lengths so that some of those are taller, some of those are shorter, and you can actually kind of tear them all about at the same spot because you can adjust your strips up and down as you go across. So I'm going to tear those strips on the right page off camera. No need for you to sit and watch me do all of that tearing. So now that I have all of those strips torn, I'm just going to adhere those. So I'm randomly guesstimating about a 1/2 inch on either side, maybe a little more than a 1/2 inch. And then I'm going to put those strips flush next to each other. And I'm going to adhere those side by side all the way across. And then when I get those across, I will do the same on the right page off camera, and that's going to be our colorful, playful base. When you have such a colorful, playful base, you really don't need much of a decorative element. Of course, we have those cute little gnomes to add, but you don't need a lot of added embellishments when you have so much color on the base. I think the Summer Gnome series is perfect for summer photos in general. Anything summer, anything juvenile, anything playful, anything fun. You could do lake, you can do pool, you can do going out for a walk. You could do anything that has some wonderful, colorful greenery in it, a bike ride. There's so many things that you could do with the Gnome series, and I'm so grateful that Stampin' Up! Picked up the Close to My Heart Summer Gnomes, because as you know, or many of you know, the Gnome series came out with Close to My Heart, and Close to My Heart gave us winter, spring, and fall gnomes, and we did not know if we were going to get the summer gnomes to complete this series. And when Close to My Heart announced the closing, Stampin' Up! Purchased the summer gnomes from Close to My Heart to give us the last gnome in the series. In fact, I haven't even completely finished the spring gnome. All of the spring gnome series is complete on YouTube, but the cheat sheet is still pending. It's been an insane summer, and it is almost done, and the cheat sheet is about ready to go out for the spring gnomes. So what's going to happen with summer gnomes is the same thing. We're going to have a 2-page layout once or twice a week until all 10 pages of the summer gnomes are done. I've actually completed all the pages. It's a 10-page series, and it's adorable. So, and then we'll have a cheat sheet at the end to give all the cutting guides, the cutting directions, so that you know how to cut your paper as a whole if you want a little bit more help. So now I have a white piece here that's 8.5 by 7.5. I have my 5 by 7 photo of Ramsey Kate mounted on a 5 1/4 by 7 1/4 white base, and then we're going to actually pop up that 5 by 7 onto that base. I like giving it dimension. I've done my journaling on some vellum. Vellum can be tricky, so I'm going to slide that vellum underneath, and then I'm going to actually adhere it over on the right with adhesive, and we're going to cover up that adhesive part of the vellum up with some other Cricut cuts, the gnomes, and some other embellishments, because you don't want the adhesive to show through. So I've made this little beach ball and this little sand pail on the Cricut, and I think those would be really, really cute embellishments to sort of offset all of the color. I think that we're going to choose a summer gnome here, and I first think that I want to have the goggles be the same color as Ramsey Kate's, and then I actually decide to go with Rosy goggles or Rosy sunglasses to offset the Rosy sand pail up in the upper left corner for a little tiny bit of color balance. And I actually think those are the largest elements needed. I think with all the color in the background, we could add a little sticker to add a rounded element over with the sand pail, and then maybe use a couple smaller stickers up at the top. We do need a title. Now, this title says pool on it, and it doesn't bother me a bit. If it bothers you that these are lake photos and you don't want to use a pool sticker on lake photos, by all means, there's tons of other stickers to choose from. But I don't mind it. I think it's just a cute summer sticker, and even though we're out at the lake, I'm going to make an executive decision to use that pool sticker. It doesn't bother me. Like I said, if it bothers you, definitely choose a different sticker element for your title. There's lots of fun titles to choose from. So I'm kind of scanning here for some smaller stickers to put up toward the top right. And I do like this little word sticker and this little kind of banner sticker here. So I'm going to put that, and I'm going to offset that a little bit on the Lagoon strip up there and add this cute little lemonade or Sundance sticker right there on the top. I feel we have a nice little visual triangle. We have our title. We have our larger elements. I do feel we need some round elements over on the right. So our choices are the round journal sticker or this pink round sticker here. So I wasn't actually going to add another gnome, but I thought, how cute would the gnome be over mimicking Ramsey Kate in her goggles over on the right, choosing one of the little gnomes and then adding the rounded sticker to the gnome. We don't have to show the little drink and the umbrella. on every gnome. We can trim that off and then maybe put a rounded sticker over on the right for a little bit of balance. And then again, you have another focal element that's sitting up a little bit higher than the beach ball over on the left. So you have a little balance there. And then I love how that little gnome and Ramsey Kate are kind of sitting back to back. And then it's just kind of like trying to figure out which color here that I want, if I want the same color goggles as Ramsey's goggles, or if I want to bring in a brighter color of goggles to sort of offset over on the right. I do end up going with the lemonade goggles, I think, or the Journey goggles. I can't remember what I go with here. And then I thought we could pull in a little sun. So I'm going to actually use a citrus blend tri-blend, and I'm just going to color the middle with medium citrus. I'm going to color a couple of the sun rays, offset those with dark and light citrus, and then come back in the middle of the sun with a little bit of dark. Not much shading. I'm just basically coloring here. I'm not using any kind of technique really. And then add that sun underneath to have a little pop of the lemonade over on the right. We have a little bit of the lemonade in the pail. We have a little bit of the lemonade in the beach ball. And so now I'd like to have a little bit of lemonade over on the right with the little sun. And I really feel like less is more. There's so much vibrant color in this with the strips in the background. And what an easy go-to layout. You've got a little bit of a unique twist with the blotch background instead of just a plain square. You've got some grounding effect with the crisscross and with the journey in the back of the blotch. You've got all of the color pulled in with all of the color strips. You've got a visual triangle with your larger clusters, the gnomes and the bucket or the pail. You've got your title there. I think I could add a little bit of a date element up at the top. And then you've got the large journal area on the vellum talking about how Ramsey Kate marches to the beat of her own drum. She can conquer the world. She's super independent. She likes to do her own thing. And I love the look on her face where she's doing the I ran Rocky Steps look with her arms, and that she's conquering the lake and enjoying her own little twist with her cute little goggles and wearing her goggles wherever she wants to, whenever she wants to. And now we have the glitter paperboard die cuts here, adding a few of the shells, adding a few of the glittery stars because no layout is complete without bling, and I'm getting happy. So here we are completing layout number 1 in the Gnomes for Summer YouTube series. You can stay tuned for the next layout, which will be layout number 2 in the Summer Gnome series, and we're going to complete 10 pages in all, and at the end of the 10 pages, we will have a Gnomes for Summer cheat sheet. You can check out the supply list and all of the things that you need to know about what was used on today's layout in today's video in the description. And hey, hit thumbs up, like, subscribe, and shoot me a comment and let me know what you think about our adorable summer gnomes. Thank you so much for watching. Stay tuned here for more summer gnomes right here on Snips by Kelly.